Welcome. Thanks to cleverness, get an overview and find out where the riches lie. Discover the entrance to the tunnel. What a promising claim. Even though only a few boulders have been mined so far, that's no reason to lose heart. You'll just have to dig deeper. You ought to get hold of some solid timber for the nearby. Build a station where the horse carts can be packed with logs. Explain to the sort of thick-skulled driver which route he should take. Now, there's got to be a small depot to park the horse-drawn carts, too. Everything's all set. Now, all you have to do is to get hold of a cart to transport the wood. A sturdy vehicle. The transport can get started. It won't be long before it's possible to dig deeper. Well then, good luck. So, you got rid of the silver mine for a decent amount. Time to invest this money in a lucrative venture. And there's an excellent opportunity. All the ore from the mine must be transported to the silver mills down by the river. A railroad that takes over the transport would be a promising venture. The terrain is treacherous. Requires a few very twisted curves. Build a railroad route that rapidly transports all the ore to the valley. A respectable railroad calls for a proper railroad yard. A truly well-done structure. Now it just needs to be connected. It's high time to buy a beautiful locomotive together with a few freight cars. What a handsome iron horse. Time to send it on its maiden journey. Ore transport is picking up speed. With a little luck, it'll make you richer than all the silver in Nevada ever could. Yes, the deed is done. The first train is rolling down the line. People are dropping everything to cheer your marvel of engineering. Don't pass up the chance to climb aboard and give them a friendly wave. Let's have a big round of applause. Thanks to your railroad, silver smelting is moving fast and furious. Find out about the needs of your future passengers. Your services are needed to the same degree everywhere in town. make sure your coaches don't miss any stops. Build a depot where the horses can be hitched up and the coaches can wait. Purchase a few coaches with horses so that you can get started. Great! The first passengers are already waiting. The Territorial Enterprise reports. A beast is up to no good in the area. According to eyewitnesses, it leaped from tree to tree, was at least 10 feet tall, had a shaggy black pelt. The reporter, a certain Mr. Clemens, has revealed his source to you. An old good-for-nothing by the name of Sam Hawkins. He's supposed to be in the saloon in Virginia City. Could be, where not too long ago there was nothing more than a dreary two-bit town. A magnificent little city now flourishes, thanks to... Make sure that the rest of the world is finally connected to Carson City, a veritable boom town. try a train arrangement that brings people from all over the world to Carson City. Time to inaugurate the line from Reno to Carson City, the town built on silver. There's firewood up in Glenbrook that'll get the steam in. You barely got away from the Cartwright boys. Now get a respectable load of logs down to the valley as fast as possible before the ranchers come back again. We're off and running. Everyone is dead set on riding your beautiful railroad. Hooray! There's no end to the rejoicing. All thanks to you. silver business is doing splendidly. The cluster of pathetic shacks has become the swankiest town in the whole West, where you find the most exquisite shops, the best saloons, and the loveliest ladies of ill repute.